Hey, well, it's 2 o'clock and I am on the air and I'm here to talk about pike fishing and the pike lures that I use and how I use them and when I use them. And I gotta say, a special thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much, guys. I need the camaraderie out there because it's hard to get somebody to go fishing with you. You go out there all by yourself, and there you go. Anyhow, I got some lures to show you. Got my big tackle box right here. And this there, I got one viewer. Don't know who you are, but you deserve as much respect as any of the others. I like using spoons. And I got this one here, and this is I don't know what the name of it is. Mepps Cyclops. And this thing here is not only good for pike, but also good for trout. Like on the top of the lure, on the top of the water, if you run this thing right across the top at a good clip, you're gonna get strikes from trout or pike. Now, who we got here? We have Steve the Pleasure Angler. How you doing, man? Good to hear from you. I'm just going over some of my pike tackle. I know you guys in Scotland and Ireland and the UK in general have been pike fishing, and you know what? I pike fish too. I live in an area that's just loaded with pike. We got a lot of hammer handles here in the shallows, but when we get into the deep part of the river, it is just cuckoo. All right, hang on a sec here. So that is the Mep Cyclops. That is a good one. And I'm just looking around here. I got some floats. I know I was talking to some of the fellows about dead baiting. Nice little pencil float here. And this summer I'm going to do some dead baiting. Be fishing here in eastern Ontario and up near Mattawa, Ontario, on the Ottawa River. But also, it kind of looks like I might be going way up north in northern Ontario. And they got some serious pike fishing up there. And trout too, brook trout, lake trout, that kind of thing. And it's not catfish country, but I just drive south maybe about 2 hours and I'm into the channel cat, so it's not a bad thing. I'm getting close to retirement, and my wife is looking at getting another job. And since I won't be working, it won't really matter where we live. You know, we can sell this house. And I got to be near water, though, I'll tell you that much. I'm going to close this window behind me, guys. Got it wide open. Here in Canada, there's a lot of snow out there. It's about 1 degree Celsius right now. It's not too bad, but April's coming, and that's when we get rid of our snow. Hang on a sec, guys. Ooh, it's a little chilly on the back. Get ready for tonight's hockey game. Got some junk food there from the store. Sit there and watch the television. Oh yeah, I got my smaller tackle box here, guys. And we're saying hello, Domingo. How you doing? Fishing with Domingo. And Steve the Pleasure Angler, welcome aboard. I'm just showing some of my pike tackle, guys. I don't think you can see me that well. The lighting here is rather horrible. There we go. I think I'm going to pull that blind, guys, because I'm not getting a good view on the screen. I'll be looking forward to when we can do these on the shoreline there, sitting from my chair. All right, so we're going to wait a minute. Here, I got some other interesting lures now. It doesn't matter about pike. They don't seem to understand size. I've caught giant pike on tiny lures, and this is one of them that I've caught a giant pike on. This is really a trout lure, like for rainbow trout or browns, and I was using it fishing for browns, and I got this awful strike, and it was a big old pike. I got him in. I didn't weigh him, and Mr. Champs. These are good for trout, but they're also good for pike. They make a splash, and the thing about pike that people don't understand is they get activated when they hear a splash. If they're feeding at all, they're going to get active. They're going to try and hone in on that, where that sound's coming from, because that to them is the dinner bell. Hello. Pike are very aggressive, and I think any of my friends out there who pike fish them know Yeah, they do. These are really go-tos for me, Domingo. And I got this one here. Look at that one. That one's a heavy lure, okay? To give you some, I guess is about, I would say half an ounce. And this is a beautiful casting lure, and you can fish deep. Now, in the summertime here, it gets quite hot, like 33 degrees Celsius, that kind of stuff during the day. And of course, I can't go because I got this myasthenia gravis thing going on. But at dusk time, when it starts to cool off, I can go out. But the thing is, you got to go deep for the big fish. So you're gonna have to drop this down at least 20 feet before you get into any of the bigger pike. You know, the 8-pounders and that, because in the summertime, all you get is the jacks up in the shallower water. They're fun to catch, but like you don't get into them until just before dark either. They won't bite, but when you get these big pike in the bottom of the lake, my God, they can. Doesn't matter what kind of day. If you're down at the bottom there and they're hungry, whatever you're presenting might end up being lunch. All right, so I'll put that one away. Hey, Moon, my beautiful cat is here. My tackle boxes are a mess, by the way, but lucky for me, I've got a lot of time to fix them. Now, I know I've seen some of the guys over in the UK using this rubber worms and stuff, and they would put the hooks through them and wire them all up. You know what? That's not a bad strategy. Later in the fall, I'd do that. Here in Canada, what happens is in the springtime, the pike will run the creeks, and you'll catch them. Well, I used to spear them when I was a little kid there. Long time ago, I just like hammer them down with a spear because you'd see them in the ditch by the hundreds. But now I'm an older guy. I just like to go and fish them. So I'm putting that away, and I got a bunch of. I'm actually ashamed to show you these lures, but they're basically deep running lures, and I got some spoons here. It's all tangled up. I need to spend some time and clean it up. But I got more here. I got the old trusty Red Devil. This one's been knackered and hit, and you can see some of the paint's coming off. I have caught quite a few, but mostly jacks on this great big lure. Catch a jack, 20 inches long or something. Then they don't care what size it is, they'll grab it. I don't like using plugs. And one of the reasons why I don't like using plugs is there's 2 sets of treble hooks on there. And it gets in there, and it's a big, and way pike jump all around. It's a pain in the ass to take them off of without hurting the fish. You don't want to hurt the fish. You want to put them back if you can. I mean, I will keep pike. They're a good eating fish. Now, this is just a cheap old silver spoon. Okay. Nothing too significant about it. But presented. Now, I've been talking to you about the lures I've got, and I'm going to show you some more. But when you present this the right way, like let it hit cast it and let it hit, like slap the water. To me, that makes a difference. And I don't know if there's any, I see there's another pike fish. Oh, Domingo. That's right. And when they want it, they don't care. You're right. And bass are the same way. Like I've seen bass catch giant lure. I've seen 2 bass on one lure. They just don't give a darn. Hey, James, how you doing, man? Have a good pike on the spoon like that. You betcha, James. This is how we fish them here in Canada, this part of Ontario. We cast and, just drag it across the water, give it a lot of action, make it all kind of cuckoo and that, kind of like me. But seriously, though, that's how we do it here. Now, I'm new to the dead bait scene, and I'm not against that. I think the dead bait in the fall would just be like phenomenal here. I'm totally excited about that. But now I'm going to present to you a bomber long A minnow. Oh, yeah. That one here, I've used this one, and for muskie or pike, it doesn't matter. You drag that as fast as you can. Reel that fast. Right beside a big wall of weeds in the current, and bam. They got some ugly in them, and they will fight. Now, this dead bait thing that I've been talking to some of the UK pike fishermen about, I got to give that a go, and I'm going to do that with, I think they've been using like bream and stuff like that, but here we have sunfish and things like that. I could try that. But also, too, I have heard stories of some of the guys catching them on hot dogs with two treble hooks, one on each side, uh, maybe shorten up the hot dog a little bit, maybe 6 inches, and then put the treble hooks on one side and another set of treble hooks on from a 3-way leader. And I guess that way you can cover all your bases. The pike have got sharp teeth, and what they'll do is they grab that line, and if they move it this way and it gets into their teeth, they'll just shred it. And I got another. This is an El Cheapo lure that I picked up. Now this one's pretty surfacey. If I want this thing down, I have to put a little leader on there and put a weight on there and get that down. But